started climbing at university. The uni that I went to had a climbing club, so I went along to one of their tasters and fell in love with it. I was hooked, so I kept coming back. I worked at the hangar for about a year, and then one of the previous route setters left. So the hangar was looking for a new route setter at the London site, and they asked if I wanted to do it, and I was always really interested in the process and was psyched to give it a go. So I did. I started route setting once a week, which then became twice a week. And then I suppose my climbing then changed a bit because I wasn't just climbing recreationally for myself. I was also starting to train a bit more, training for my own climbing but also for route setting, so that I could get better and climb hard.
I often see like toe hooks, heel hook and constant foot swap in her routes. And compared to those power moves, dynos, I think Jess used more techniques in her routes, and it makes her routes feel like more visually flowy and smooth.
I think she's just consistent. You just know what she's going to be like. There aren't days where you come in and it's like, oh my god, I don't know how to like act around her or whatever. It's just like it's the same every time, which is really nice, and I feel like that is actually a good trait in setting.
Jess is very funny with setting in general and climbing, because she hates dynamic climbing, and then she can pull on the smallest crimp and match the foothold like no one else.
I started working at the hangar as a part-time job while I was doing my masters, but realised I was loving working here and climbing and the people I met more than the actual degree that I was doing. So I realised at that point that I'd like to pursue working in the industry further. I didn't have any manual labour experience, so things like using impact driver, that was all very new to me. It wasn't necessarily a challenge because I learned, but it was definitely a transition from coaching, just the handyman side of things.
As Jess coaches me, she always taught me a lot of techniques to overcome my lack of power, lack of height, and she always encouraged me to create my own beta, and I think that is awesome.
Initially, I think setting is a very physical job. There is the side of setting where you have to test, but there's also the side where you have to carry baskets up and down stairs. You've got to go up and down the ladder all day, and as someone who didn't have that sort of background beforehand, I think initially it was quite challenging to just be fit enough to get through the day, but that builds up over time, over the years of doing it.
Again, brings a different style, and it is very different from myself and Magda. I would say it's very crimpy and tends to be top end. Yeah, which is not an issue. That isn't a bad thing. That's just yeah, I feel like if anything she hits the number, but it tends to be top end, which is, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You don't want to be known as oh, they're the ones setting the soft stuff, or yeah.
I feel Jess usually combines the high level techniques into the lower grade problems so that we can use the bigger handhold to practice hard move, and I think that is really helpful.
Normally I come in with an idea of a move that I want to set, put on the wall, and I'll start with that, and then really it's just a process of building around it. That's just one singular block, but then you have to also think about the rest of the block, the rest of the whole set as a whole. After you set one or two blocks that you have these great ideas before the day that you want to put onto the wall, then you're left with the volumes that you've already used, the holds that are already on the wall, so then you have to sort of a bit of a puzzle to work around that and see how you can create other climbs that go through the two, maybe king lines as some people like to call them.
I feel like she's made a big impact really on the setting team here, just because before it was mostly guys who were on the team, whereas now Jess came in and then Magda's joined, and so it's I think she's probably inspired other people to get involved, and in a world where it's mostly men who are setting, guys who are setting, it's still quite a new thing for to have female setters.
I think traditionally, yeah, definitely route setting has been male dominated. However, it's been really great to see over the time that I've been setting that more and more women have got involved. At the Climbing Hangar London, for example, there are more female setters than male setters, which is amazing. And when I go and freelance now, often there's another female on the set, which might not have been the case like 5 years ago. So yeah, the industry has definitely developed now, and I think there's definitely more of a balance between male and female setters. I think part of that has been because of taster sessions that people have run, so that any women who might be interested in setting can give it a go. The advice I would give to any inspiring route setters out there would be to go along to a taster session so that you can try it out, see whether it's really for you. Maybe contact the wall that you climb at most, see if they have any opportunities for you to get involved.
Jazz, you made a big impact on my climbing journey. And thank you to make Climbing Hangar feels like home.